It's time for Good Game Spawn Point. I'm Rad. On today's show, we're getting a bit historical with some real-time strategy for the ages in Age of Empires form.
The town of Granville succumbed to the French, and the English were pushed back towards Fleury.
And we explore the 9th century Viking life in Discovery Tour Viking Age.
A quest for knowledge and a promise of adventure awaits you.
But we don't actually have ages, so on with the Wallalo! On with the Shololo!
Hey GGS peeps! In keeping with the history theme this week, I've been exploring ancient temples for long-lost relics and plunging back into the abyss. The Phantom Abyss. This Aussie-made first-person temple runner has you running and grappling for your life through randomly generated ruins full of traps and big scary temple defenders. There's a clever twist here too. Each temple is unique, and once someone finishes it, no one ever gets to race through it again. So you are often truly exploring places no one has seen before, and if you're good, no one will ever see again. In another great twist, you get to see the ghosts of everyone who's attempted the temple so far, giving you a potential chance to learn from their mistakes. It's a simple but brilliant idea, and it controls perfectly. Definitely one to check out. And now for a little bit of gaming news. First up, we heard a few announcements from Sony's latest State of Play event, including news of a big, free Bugsnax update for those still feeling a bit peckish. The Isle of Big Snacks is due out in 2022 and will apparently add a bunch of new quests, new Bugsnax, home decorating elements, and most importantly, snacks with hats. Aside from that, the enchanting bird-based dungeon adventure Death's Door is also coming to PS4 and PS5 later this month. And I hear it will be out on Switch too. And there is yet another cutesy kart racer on the block called Kart Rider Drift. There'll be a free closed beta in December for keen karters who want to take that one for a test drive. Moving on, some new Pokemon forms for next year's Pokemon Legends Arceus game have been revealed. Hisui region forms of Zorua and Zoroark are said to be a combo of normal and ghost types who harness the power of spite and malice after they were shunned by humans in the past. Cool. Doesn't make me feel uneasy at all. In other news, fans of Age of Empires and breakfast might be interested to know that Xbox recently created a limited edition cereal. Wallalos are so named for the much-memed battle cry of the priest unit in the first Age of Empires. And they look just like your standard O-shaped crunchy cereal, but Age of Empires-y. However, Wallalos were only available to a chosen few, including competition winners. But enough about cereal, it is time for the first review.
I love the Age of Empires series. I still maintain that Age of Empires 2 is, to this day, one of the best games ever made. So when I heard that number 4 was in development, I was over the moon. But will it be a game for the ages? Age of Empires is a popular, long-running, historical real-time strategy series. First you pick a civilization, each with its own pros and cons. Then you've got to collect resources to build up your village. You can advance through various ages, which give you new technologies and units to research. Then amass an army to wipe out your enemies. Okay, to be fair, you can also win by doing things like building a big expensive structure called a wonder, or by capturing all the relics that are scattered across the map. But combat is a pretty big part of the game, which is split into two main parts, a single-player campaign or skirmish. Skirmish can be played against AI or in online multiplayer, either on maps with custom rules, or you can choose from a few preset scenarios. Back in my day, this was the way to play. Of course, the gameplay is largely the same across the board, but something about having the freedom to just grow your town feels really good. Despite being the fourth game in the series, the gameplay hasn't had any major changes. At times, it feels like Age of Empires 2 with some updated graphics and civilizations. But that's not really a bad thing. I have long said that that is exactly what I want the next Age of Empires game to be. Oh, plus larger population caps and more ages to move through. But unfortunately though, we don't get either of the last two. There's also only 8 civilizations to choose from, which feels a bit limited. I would guess that they're planning to add more later, but that's just a guess. However, there is one spot where there is definite improvement, and that is the campaign.
King Henry's tactic of luring Robert into the open had worked.
Traditionally, single-player campaigns in Age of Empires haven't been the main attraction. But this time, I'm pleased to say it is really good. There are 4 different campaigns to play through, which reenact various moments and battles from an event in history. These can vary from trying to cut off enemy supply lines, or trying to defend a town. I loved the variety. Now, I'm not a huge history buff, but thankfully each starts with a cool video that sets up the story.
An army of over 100,000 men swept aside all resistance.
They all felt like mini documentaries, and they got me really invested in the scenario I was playing. I definitely found this much more engaging than just an in-game cutscene. The campaign also acts as a mini tutorial, teaching you various mechanics as you go. It's absolutely perfect for easing yourself in. It also gives you a taste of a few different civilizations, so you can get a better understanding of how they work.
The Rus had fallen for one of the Mongols' most effective tactics, the feigned retreat.
The campaign battles can also be hard, like really hard, even on intermediate. But on occasion, easy was too easy. I needed more of a middle ground. You see, I want a challenge, but I can never seem to build up as fast as I need to. The great thing about Age of Empires is that you can just play it again and again. Number 4 feels true to the series, offering some fresh ideas on top of a tried and tested base. The gameplay hasn't been updated enough to make it a must-play, but having said that, I still absolutely love it. I'm giving Age of Empires 4 out of 5 rubber chickens. Wait a second, this isn't even real chainmail, this is just wool. Oh, how am I gonna go into battle now?
Have you ever sat in a history lesson reading line after line of dense historical info and thought to yourself, I wish there was a way to make this a million times less boring? Well then, you might want to take a look at Discovery Tour Viking Age. Series, this is a fully interactive virtual history lesson set in the world of some more mature action games, but minus the combat, so they're GGSP friendly. This adventure is broken up into 8 intertwining quests, set in different regions spanning Norway, England, Jotunheim, and Asgard. Each quest storyline focuses on a different aspect of Viking and Anglo-Saxon life, like their religious practices and beliefs, tools and weapons, and how the groups interacted with each other. Spoilers, it was not always peacefully. Each area you explore is littered with information backed by academic sources, and often accompanied by images of real-life relics from the time period. Although there's a story to follow, you can take these quests at your own pace, reading and exploring to your heart's content, while the NPCs guiding you just kind of stand around waiting for you to catch up.
After a few raids, we'll have enough silver to leave this place for good.
Sorry, Gunhilda, I know we're in a rush, but I want to know more about trade routes. Thanks, love you. As I mentioned, this is a combat-free experience, but that doesn't mean you're free from challenge. As you make your way through the story, you'll occasionally be faced with mini quizzes. These aren't particularly brain-teasing, but more to make sure you've been paying attention. Like remembering the list of ingredients you were given to make a healing tonic.
It was feverfew and honey to ease the throat.
I did like the flighting sections, where you have to pick the best response to complete a rhyming battle of wits.
My worst is still better than you at your best.
No truer words have ever been spoken.
Overall, it's a pretty in-depth and enjoyable little experience, though I would have liked the option for text to be read to you so you can hear the pronunciation on certain words. How am I meant to talk about all these fun history facts at parties if I can't pronounce the words correctly? Truly, its greatest offence, though, was not letting me pet the animals. You give me all these fuzzy babies and I can't pet them? How could you? If you're a history buff and want to get your fill of all things Viking, I can think of worse ways to spend an afternoon than slowly panning across scenic vistas, climbing beautiful architecture, and taking full advantage of no fall damage. Crammed full of juicy info and a pretty decent story to boot, Discovery Tour Viking Age is well worth the trip back in time. So I'm giving it 4 out of 5 rubber chickens. Can you believe they gave me a sword?
The time has come for another installment of Ask SP, so it better stop stalling and start installing some answers to these questions. Yeah, that works. First up, we have a video from Atticus.
Hello GGSP, this is Atticus. I have one question for you. What do you think is the best Switch? The OLED model, the normal model, or the Switch Lite?
Thanks, Atticus. Well, I've only tried the original Switch model, so I can't really say from personal experience. But I suspect Darren could give us a bit of a spec rundown. That's a good one.
Greetings, Darren here.
Hey Darren. Atticus is wondering which is the best Switch out of the OLED, the Lite, and the original model. So what do you think?
Oh, well, that depends on loads of different factors. And there's actually quite a handy table on the Nintendo website that allows you to compare some of each model's similarities and differences. Now, the OLED model Switch, which is the most recently released model, has the largest screen at 7 inches. The display, of course, is an OLED screen rather than an LCD screen, which the other Switch models use. OLED screens typically look more vibrant, high contrast, and crisp, though reportedly it's prone to easy scratching, so a screen protector is recommended. Otherwise, the OLED model is dockable for TV use and has a wired LAN port for direct internet connection when docked. Plus, it has a larger and more sturdy kickstand. But it is the most expensive of the current models. The Switch Lite, on the other hand, is the cheapest available. It's smaller and is a handheld-only model, so it cannot be docked for use with a TV. It doesn't come with detachable Joy-Cons, and it has slightly less battery life than the other two models.
That's right. So, how do you think the standard Switch compares?
Well, it's worth noting that in 2019, Nintendo released a revised Switch model with improved battery life compared to the original 2017 model. But I'd say the standard Switch is a sort of middle ground all-rounder. It can be played either in docked or handheld mode, and sure, the screen is not as fancy as the OLED model, but many of its other hardware specifications are similar to it. Ultimately, I think the best Switch will be the one that best suits your situation. Or switchuation.
Nice one. Thanks, Darren.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, on to another video now. And this one here comes to us from Al Imran.
Hello GGSP, I have one question today, and that question is, will there be any new Brawl Stars updates which has new brawlers, new things, or anything like that? My second question is that is there any type of free Minecraft that works on that you can get in any device for free? Goodbye.
Thanks, Al Imran. If you're wondering about Brawl Stars updates, well, there seem to be monthly updates that add new things to the game. In October, the so-called Brawlywood Brawler, Lola, was added, as well as new skins, some Brawloween-themed stuff, and things like that. And I'm sure there will be more new things to come in the future too. As for whether there are ways to play Minecraft on any device for free, well, the official version of Minecraft is generally something you have to pay for if you want the full up-to-date version with the latest features and things. But you can actually play a stripped-back early version of Minecraft, known as Minecraft Classic, for free in your computer browser. Don't expect all of the bells and whistles of full-price Minecraft, of course. It's very basic. But it's kind of cool to see how Minecraft began. Other than that, I think Minecraft Education Edition might offer a free trial if you have an eligible Microsoft account. So you could look into that too. Moving along now, I think we can manage just one more vid, and this one here is from Jocelyn.
Hi GGSP, I've got 3 questions for you. Number 1, have you reviewed Cuphead? Number 2, have you reviewed ARMS? Number 3, will you review Say No More? Rad, please do these emoticons.
Mario.
Darren's a noob.
Well said, Jocelyn. Now, I'm going to be super efficient and answer your first 2 questions together with the same answer. Yes! We reviewed both Cuphead and ARMS on the show back in the year of their original release. So why not search those reviews out in our online archive? On the other hand, the answer to the question of whether we will review Say No More is, well, no. I don't think we'll do a full review of it now. But we did chat a bit about it on the show when it came out earlier this year. You can find that in episode 12 of season 12, our current season, if you search it out online too. And that's all the time we have for Ask SP this week. If you've got a question you'd like to ask us, you can go here to send it in. And if you make it a video question and we put it on the show, we'll send you some sweet GGSP merchy stuff. And that was another vote for Darren being a noob. At this rate, we may soon have enough Darren noob data for some sort of graph. Yeah, graph.
Wow, exploring history can really take it out of you. But be sure to come back for some high-energy hijinks next week, as we hit the road for some open-world motoring in Forza Horizon 5. And we take on the extreme multi-sport racing of Riders Republic. There's sure to be thrills and/or spills aplenty. Until then, stay safe, be nice, have fun, and keep gaming. Gem out.
Rad out.